We're going to explain why you might get a JSP file not found error in your Spring Boot project after adding Tomcat-Embed-Jasper. This usually happens because, despite adding the dependency, Spring Boot's default configuration isn't set up to handle JSPs. Spring Boot prefers other templating engines like Timeleaf or FreeMarker out of the box. To fix this, you need to make several crucial changes. 1. Verify the dependency. First, double-check that you've correctly added the Tomcat-Embed-Jasper dependency to your write single quote pom.xml, write single quote if using Maven, or write single quote build.gradle, write single quote if using Gradle. It should look something like this. Maven example. Dependency groupadorg.apache.tomcat.embed/grouped-artifact-idem-cat-embed. Jasper/artifacted/dependency. 2. JSP location. Make sure your JSP files are in the correct location. Spring Boot typically looks for views in src/main/webapp/webinf/views/ or a similar directory structure. If your JSPs are somewhere else, you'll have to configure Spring Boot to find them. 3. View resolver configuration. Spring Boot needs a view resolver to know how to handle JSPs. You'll need to create one, usually an internal resource view resolver. This tells Spring Boot where your JSP files are. You'll configure it to point to the correct directory. A sample configuration in your Spring Boot configuration class might look like this: Java code. At configuration public class, webconfig implements webmv configurer. At override public void add view controllers, view controller registry, registry.add-view-controller, set view name, index. At bean public view resolver, internal resource view resolver =, new internal resource view resolver.set prefix, /web-inf/views/tly, resolver, set suffix.jsp, return resolver. This configures it to look for JSPs in the /webinf/views/ directory. 4. Webapp directory. Ensure you have a src/main/webapp directory in your project structure. Spring Boot often uses this directory as the root for static resources and JSP files. 5. Rebuild and restart. After making these changes, clean and rebuild your project and restart your Spring Boot application. This ensures that the changes are fully integrated. 6. Check for typos. Carefully check the names of your JSP files and the paths in your view resolver configuration. Even a small typo can cause a file not found error. 7. Context. Root. Check that your context root is correctly defined, especially if you're deploying to a server. Incorrect context root can lead to incorrect paths to your JSP files. 8. Permissions. Ensure that your application has the necessary permissions to access the files in the specified directory. 9. Deployment, if applicable. If deploying to a container other than embedded Tomcat, you need to ensure that your JSP configuration is compatible with that specific container. If you followed all these steps and you still have issues, double-check your logs for more detailed error messages, which often pinpoint the exact problem.